We apologize for the technical difficulties to any of you just joining us in the stream. Thank goodness Truman able to save the stream tonight. Once again doing his magic for us. Here in the broadcast team, we have a great team here this year, but technical difficulties, we are back, and it is going to be Cade Perkins out of the pen. Mustangs, nothing doing in the bottom of the third when the stream did crash, so didn't miss much. Still down 6-0, and the Mustangs just still looking to put some zeros on that board, Truman.
Yeah, now Cade Perkins, another lefty out of the bullpen. I mean, wasn't Caden Carter's, unfortunately, his best outing. Now it's just up to Perkins. See if he can throw up a zero and at least just give time for these Mustang hitters to chip away at Maverick Gentry.
First pitch outside for ball one. If you're just joining us, I'm Jackson Phelps, my partner Truman Greasel. We apologize for the technical difficulties. But we're back here to play in the top of the fourth inning. 1-0 pitch finds the zone. It'll be Dalton Miller leading it off here in the inning. So far, 1 for 1 with his single back in the second. Also drew the walk back in the first and came around to score both times. One-two pitch from Perkins. Looks good out of the hands, just broke just far to the left. Evens the count up at 2-2.
Perkins has been good. Another guy like Carter, fastball, breaking ball. He'll rely more on the breaking ball.
And there's the third strike, and he gets Miller down on 3 strikes for the first out of the inning. And a big first out, trying to get their first zero here in the game.
These last 2 innings, when the Bombers have scored, Caden Carter got the leadoff man out. It was hitting with 2 outs. That really cost Mustangs pitching. So Perkins will look to, once he gets the 2 outs, getting the third out. It's kind of like a reverse script of what we were saying early in the season for opponents pitching. They couldn't get the Mustangs out. Now, again, just seems like this whole week of games, Mustangs pitching has been able to just finish off opposing hitters.
So it'll be Connor Rice. Ball and a strike. Finds the outside part of the zone for strike 2. And Perkins looking pretty solid out of the pen. Misses high and tight. Griffith gives him the nod. Liking it if he can put it a little closer. Evens the count up at 2 strikes. Rice also 1 for 2 so far with a single. And he's going to swing that, and that is going to fall into right field for a 1-out base hit. And that'll be his second hit of the day in back-to-back plate appearances off the bat of Connor Rice.
It's also just, again, we've seen it a lot. Some good pitches made by Mustangs pitching, but the Bombers just seem to have found every hole in this Mustangs defense. And that's just one of those frustrating hits. I mean, already 8 hits. And a lot of those have just been kind of those off the hands, off the end of the bat, bloop hits that just frustrate the heck out of pitchers.
It'll be Caden Edmondson. Edmondson 2 singles tonight on the astounding 8 hits so far in this ball game for the Bombers. Watches ball 1. He'll watch ball 2 upstairs. Issued from Perkins. Edmondson in a nice, comfortable spot. 2 balls, no strikes. With Connor Rice on first. That's going to foul it off of Griffith's face mask for strike 1. Double play still in play for the Mustangs. With Rice at first, doesn't possess too much speed. Have to see if they can tie him up and keep him on first. Perkins goes back over to first. Perkins not a guy issuing too many walks this season. Only 2 on the season so far, 2 and 1. Misses down low. Griffith, he's going to find Rice going over to second. The throw is just a little high, and Rice will slide underneath the tag of Mosh. And now with 3-1, the Bombers have yet another runner in scoring position.
It was just a great read that time from Miller. I mean, Griffith did everything right. He kept it in front of him. It was just the reaction speed of of Rice was just faster than that of Griffith.
That'll be slowly grounded over to Mosh at second. He's going to have to make a quick throw over to first. He's going to get him in time for the second out. That does move over Rice over to third, but a nice play made by Jack Mosh for the second out.
Had to make a quick transition, and he did. Just a great play by Mosh. Got a great first jump. It's all about that first step as a middle infielder. All about that first step. You want to have the reaction speed of an F1 driver.
And he did right there. Good delivery. It'll bring up Chris Miller. Miller 0 for 2 tonight. Looking to bring home Rice from third. A 1 pitch from Perkins popped high up in the air. That'll get foul on the first base side. Cade Perkins out of Southeast Missouri State. 0-2 pitch. Chopped up, back up to Mosh. He's going to have to make another quick play over to first. He will in time for the third out, and the Mustangs finally get their 0 they've been looking for from Cade Perkins out of the pen. They leave one stranded at third, and we're headed to the bottom of the 4th inning as your Mustangs still trail it 6-0. It's Mizzou night here at Phil Welch, and the first trivia question of the night was, what year was the first homecoming held at Mizzou? Was it 1898, 1911, 1920, or 1905? And if earlier before the stream crashed, if you guessed 1911, you are correct. The first ever homecoming, in fact, was held in 1911, as Mizzou is the home of homecoming. And it's a nice Mizzou night, a beautiful Saturday night here at Phil Welch. Sun just in those trees has left the field. And here in the bottom of the 4th, Dom Felix will lead it off. Still no runs on the ball game, Truman. But still early in this ball game. But down 6, might be time to manufacture something.
Haven't gotten your leadoff man on. It's really hard to score runs. I mean, it's not impossible, but if you can get that leadoff man on and have Maverick Gentry pitch with no outs and a runner on base, I mean, he's been able to pitch out of a few jams, but he's been very impressive tonight. He's been attacking the zone, mixing up his pitches nicely. Very impressed by Mr. Gentry.
He has been dominant. Only 2 hits, no runs so far. Only the 1 error in the field from Kim. And he's got Felix quickly down. No balls and 2 strikes to lead off the bottom of the 4th. 0-2 pitch swung on inside is Felix, keeping the at-bat alive at 0-2. Getting close up to that waist area. Just wanted to try and see if he can keep it alive. Tucson, Arizona native is Felix. 0-2 pitch from Gentry. Chop first base side, it'll stay foul. Felix doing a good job keeping yet another at-bat alive. Mustangs disciplined as ever. Last couple of nights have let some of those 2 strike counts get to them, but predominantly the whole season long we've been mentioning has been pretty good at it. 0-2, good eye from Felix, watching it go inside for ball 1. And that'll be called strike 3 on Felix for the first out. And Gentry still moving. That'll be strikeout number 5 on the night.
Felix just couldn't hold up there. It's always that mindset of in the batter's box, yes, yes, no. When you get caught between the yes and the no, it's when you get in trouble right there. And again, just kind of uncharacteristic at-bats we've seen. I mean, the Mustangs thrived off walks leading to hits. They necessarily didn't out-hit every team they faced. But now as we get more into the summer, I mean, these opposing pitchers, they're knocking off the rust. They're really going to be attacking the zone. The Mustangs just got to be ready. Just tweak your approach a little bit, not that. Just be ready to. You're going to see a lot of pitches in the zone, so just be ready to hammer something.
And it's Justin George, the guy you want to hammer something. It's a big swing and a miss, has him down quickly. 0-2 back-to-back batters that Gentry's found 0-2 to start the at-bat. That middle half with Felix and George haven't seen too much firepower with extra base hits and home runs yet from them this summer. 0-2 outside gets away from Vickers for ball 1. But they do possess that power inside. George, a couple of games ago, was talking about how he likes to lift weights, stays in the gym. That's what translates to the field. The 1-2 pitch from Gentry. Slapped, and that is going to get down into the right center field gap. George is going to take a long turn from first. He's headed over to second. The throw in from Roberts, not in time. And a one-out double from Justin George. A jump start to this Mustangs offense here in the bottom of the 4th.
That's what you like to see right there. Down on the count 1-2, but he just stayed through a pitch. Didn't try to do too much with it. Hopefully he can pass that along to his teammates. And he just laced that one up the alley. Just a great piece of hit. And hopefully can be something that at least can lead the Mustangs at chipping away at this deficit.
3rd hit of the night for the Mustangs. 6th double on the season for George. And it sets up Jaden Little with an RBI chance. And looks for the first run of the ball game for the Mustangs. Just an out. Gentry still looking confident. The Mustangs trying to break something through. Off speed just misses inside on Little for ball 1. Little struck out back in the second on his only at-bat of the night. One of delivery. Good eye from Little once again. Gets up 2-0 on Gentry. Little out of Lincoln University. To a pitch to Little. He's going to chop it down the third base line. A weak dribbler is going to be fielded by Miller. A long throw over to first. Here comes George over to third. And he's going to reach on the fielder's choice. And Little gunned down at first for 2 outs. But Chris Coy just had to runner 90 feet away is George and hopes for the Mustangs' first run.
Just rolled over on it right there. 2-0 pitch. It was a good pitch to swing at, but comparing what the Bombers have done to what now the Mustangs, that kind of swing was one where if you'd like to see him wait back a little bit longer and see that one into right, that he might have gotten a base hit. He tried to pull it. That's where he got the rollover into the ground out.
It'll be Chris Coy up. Coy, a nice freshman season so far with the Mustangs this summer. Reached on the E4. And stole second. Big swing and a miss for strike 2 quickly. Once again, Gentry has another Mustang batter down 0-2 here in this inning. Trying to hold George at third.
He's really been pitching these hitters behind breaking balls first.
And that is lined over to Miller for the 3rd out, and the Mustangs leave George tied up at 3rd and are still looking for that first run of the ball game as we're headed into the 5th inning of play. As your Mustangs trail this one 6-0 still here on YouTube. Welcome back into Phil Welch Stadium. Mustangs leave one on third and trail at 6-0 as we're going to get a quick look at tonight's weather. Currently, 85 degrees and sunny. Has kind of dropped down near that 81 mark as we're getting close to that 9 p.m. mark, as it's going to drop down to just 79 around 10 p.m. when this game should be wrapping up. And Truman started out as kind of a hot, steamy day, but once that sun goes down here at Phil Welch, a lot more comfortable.
Well, I mean, that's just what happens on Earth, Jackson, when the sun goes down in places. It gets a little cooler, but hoping even though the temperature might drop a little bit, this Mustangs offense can get hot because, again, it's been a very, we talked about it during the break here with the three of us in the booth. Weird is the word to describe this homestand.
Very
weird.
Mean,
and again, it's just been tonight, I mean, still plenty of baseball, but it's been a bit of a shocking, maybe it's just kind of that reset. You know, the Mustangs, they were off to such an incredible start. Maybe they just need one of those sour-tasting couple of games just to realize that, hey, we need to bring our best game night in and night out, and we can't just, you know, coast through games. I'm not saying they're coasting, but, you know, it's just one of those that, a bit of a reality check that, like, hey, we've won 19 games so far. Doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
What matters is making it to that second to last week of July, making it to that Mink League tournament, and hoisting that Mink League Cup at the end of the year.
Exactly, and I totally agree with that. Sometimes you need those sour tastes. As Chiefs fans, it's like going into Buffalo, losing in Buffalo. Sometimes you just need losses like that to kind of get your team reawoken. As Huey's going to line one, a deep fly into left field. Freeman and Bodenhausen. Bodenhausen still backtracking as he makes the catch near the outer grass area for the first out of the inning.
Bodenhausen able to read that ball, had to flip his hips a little bit, but he never backpedaled. That's an important thing for kids watching at home. You never want to backpedal in the outfield. You want to turn over that shoulder. That's what Bodenhausen didn't. You want to keep your eye on the ball. And you watch Bodenhausen, you saw his hips turn in the direction. He never fully 360'd. It was just his hips that were moving. It's a great job, especially he didn't have the best read on that ball. The ball was kind of knuckling up in the air.
It was a nice adjustment and play made by Bodenhausen and left. As it went a ways away, no wind. It was all just off the bat. As it brings up Jishu Kim for his third plate appearance of the night. Grounded into a 1-4-3 double play back in the third. It was hit by a pitch in the first. Quickly works a 2-0 count here. As Perkins back for his second inning of work. Now 3-0 as Kim looking to get one out base runner on for the Bombers. .3-0 pitch shows bunt. It'll find the outside part for strike one. Perkins last inning. Really good, left the runner on third from the single. 3-1 to Kim. He's swinging that lined off of his shin. He's going to give a little bit of a walk around, give a little bit of a touch. But we're full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just an out here as Perkins trying to retire Kim.
I was thinking about more South Korean baseball players.
Okay.
Jung-Hoo Lee of the Giants.
Yep, that's a good one.
Hyseung Kim of the Dodgers.
As Jishu Kim will pop it out to little in right for the second out. But those are all, I kind of forget about some of those names in the majors from South Korea. South Korea, definitely one of those areas with around that Japan area.
It is around Japan.
It sure is,
yes.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Baseball centered over there.
Geography with Jackson. Maybe that should be a new segment.
It should be.
The bottom of the fifth is Geography with Jackson.
It should be.
South Korea is next to Japan.
It sure is. His first pitch from Perkins in the zone for strike one.
Hyunjin Ryu.
That's a good one.
Lefty pitcher for the Dodgers.
Yep. Swing and a miss from Vickers, and quickly 0-2. Perkins has Vickers with 2 outs. Vickers drew the walk back in the third and came around to score on the 2-run home run from Rice. That opened this lead up to 6. 0-2 pitch. Lined over to the third base area. Off the glove of Felix. It'll stay fair. Vickers is going to fall down on the third base side. He'll stay put at first with 2 outs and another late base runner for the Bombers.
Sniper out right there. Caught up Vickers, who would have easily made it in his second. That was just one. It kind of took an awkward hop and it kind of jumped away from Felix. Looked like he might have had a beat on it, and then that ball just jumped away from him. Again, just tough for Perkins. He has another weak contact hit that had him down 0-2. He made a good pitch. And these Bombers just keep finding holes.
So it brings up Carter Rice, who back in the third, 2-run home run over the left field wall. Opened it up to a 6-0 lead. Off speed in the zone. Evens out at a ball and a strike. It was off Caden Carter. Out of his last inning of work. On the 1-1 pitch, it's going to be Felix. A nice scoop over at third and makes a nice throw over to first. For a nice third out play from Mr. Felix. Leaves one on the base paths for the Bombers. And it keeps the lead at 6 runs. Your Mustangs headed to the bottom of the 5th. Down 6 runs here on YouTube. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, around the Mink right now, it's the Monarchs against the Renegades. The Nevada Griffins tonight are playing the Van Johnson Giants. Mustangs against the Bombers. It'll be the A's against the Monarchs and the Mudcats against the Merchants. Mudcats beating the Merchants 2-0. A's falling behind against the Nemo Craze 6-2. Bombers up 6-0 as Griffith grounds it out over to short for the first out. Van Johnson and Nevada still 0-0, and the Monarchs are beating the Renegades 10-2 in the top of the 6th. But first out on the inning comes off of Griffith. Definitely want to watch out for that A's game with the Nemo Craze. Up 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th. This brings up Tyler Gundelfinger outside for ball 1. And it gets into that point of the summer where you're really looking at the 2 top teams, the Mustangs and the A's each night. Just kind of see, hey, Mustangs are losing, so are the A's. So it's not really going to affect the standings as much as you think it will. And it gets to that point in the summer when it really does become a factor. As Gundelfinger, a sharp line ball, it'll go foul. For strike 1, 2 balls and a strike to Gundelfinger.
The A's lost last night, so that Mink League loss by St. Joe to Carroll here didn't affect him too much, but it is a league game here for the Mustangs compared to a non-league game.
Gundelfinger will get hit by a pitch and a 1-out base runner for the Mustangs. Trying to get something going, trying to get their first run of the ball game. And Gundelfinger is a sneaky, aggressive base runner, looking to scamper around, as that'll bring up Truman Bodenhausen at the top of the order.
Just great job by Gundelfinger again, not trying to do too much, but again, Mustangs have still yet to get their leadoff man on. They've 4 times have gotten the next man on with 1 out, but still that leadoff man on has still evaded them.
First pitch strike to Bodenhausen. Bodenhausen 0 for 2 tonight, a strikeout in the first and a ground out to third. Back in the third. Still looking for his first hit of the night. Gundelfinger, a decent lead at first. Gentry still manning the mound for the Bombers. A quick release, and it's going to be a pick back to Gundelfinger in a close play at first as Gundelfinger slides back in safely. But 0-2 now Bodenhausen.
That's what you do as a catcher. I mean, that's just a great job when you see bunt. Seeing if you can catch that runner sleeping if he's not seeing that ball down and just getting way too far off. But a great job by Gundelfinger to get back. But now Bodenhausen, 0-2. He throws your breaking ball way back on it. Go with the pitch.
0-2 is going to put a shallow fly ball into the foul territory near the left field area. Scoop catch tried to make by Huey, but he just falls out of the glove. And it remains no balls and 2 strikes. Bodenhausen some extra life with an out.
Now you have extra life and just trying to stay on top of ball. A lot of these Mustang hitters are getting under it a little too much. Stay through it. Big hole on that right side. So I like the idea from Bodenhausen, trying to go to the opposite field. See if Gentry makes him a 0-2 mistake right here.
No balls, 2 strikes to Bodenhausen. Upstairs in the zone, a good eye by Bodenhausen watching that one go by. Now just the first ball on this at-bat, 1-2. Gundelfinger some healthy leads over at first. But with the quick release that Gentry has, it's going to be kind of tough for him. And Vickers tonight has been phenomenal with those throws. Just have been unlucky tags. And on 1-2, Bodenhausen swings and misses for the second out on the inning. Still the dominant performance by Gentry. That'll be strikeout number 6 on the night. Brings up Darius Freeman. Freeman a single back in the first, stole second. Struck out back in the third. Trying to keep this inning going for the Mustangs, trying to get something started. Headed into the middle half of the inning, the middle spot of the top. It'll be 2 and 3. And then 4 in the hole is Felix. Mosh on the deck circle. 1 ball, no strikes to Freeman. Gundelfinger still on first. Outside, and Freeman quickly works 2-0 on Gentry.
I think I've also been impressed by Gentry tonight that he's fallen behind in counts, but it just hasn't seemed like it. It seems like even though he's behind 2-0 here, he's still in the driver's seat. He's gotten the Mustangs to chase some pitches, again, inducing that weak contact.
Freeman, a nice job, works a 3-0 count. Looking to get 2 base runners on for the Mustangs with Jack Mosh coming in. A good ball contact man. Trying to get another runner in scoring position for the Mustangs. 3-0 pitch to Freeman. Right in the zone for strike 1. So now 3-1 to Freeman. With 2 outs. I'm thinking Truman might as well just go ahead and watch this one go. See if you can get lucky with the call, or are you swinging?
You never want to just get lucky. I mean, you're still playing baseball. A walk is nice, but you're still looking to hit.
Right there on 3-1. Freeman draws that walk, and now 2 runners on for the Mustangs. Gundelfinger in scoring position at second. Freeman on first. And it'll bring up Jack Mosh with an RBI opportunity for the Mustangs.
Mosh worked a walk his first time up, but like to see him come through with a hit. Hasn't had a hit in a couple games. A couple 0 for 4 games this week, but like to get back to seeing that Jack Mosh we saw earlier in this season that was just a force to be reckoned with at the plate.
Mosh a good spot here with 2 outs. Inside, that runs close near the feet. Just misses for ball 1. 7 RBIs on the season for Mosh so far. Looking to add to that total. Originally out of Kansas City, Missouri, St. Pius High School over in the Kansas City metro area. Gentry given time, trying to wipe some sweat off, looks like. Here in the bottom of the 5th, it's Jack Mosh. 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position with 2 outs. 1-0 pitch. Beautiful slider inside, and that catches the zone for strike 1. Ball and a strike to Jack Mosh. Mosh grounded out to Gentry, his last at-bat back in the 3rd. 1-1 downstairs. 2 balls and a strike to Mosh. Mosh, one of the most patient hitters here in the Mustangs lineup. Looking to see if he can load the bases up in a 2-out spot for Dom Felix. But it is that righty-lefty matchup with Mosh. He's seen some really good pitches. I want to see if he can take one in his wheelhouse and put it into the gap. Because Freeman's speed at first with 2 outs. Want to see if you can try and get both home.
It's really the first time since that first inning that Gentry's been in some real trouble, and command has eluded him. Like it from Vickers, just going out to talk to him probably. You know, see, this is one of those conversations. Might not even be talking about baseball.
Yeah.
Seeing how he's doing, I mean, it's one of those casual conversations because he knows they're only 1 out away from getting out of 5 shutout innings against the top team in the Mink.
Mosh going to foul it off on 2-1, evens it out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mosh visibly upset after that foul ball. He's probably going to want another pitch like that back. He was just a little bit behind on it. If he got up a little bit in front, probably could have driven it out.
Seen that a couple times from several of these Mustangs hitters tonight, just missing that pitch. Might chalk that up to the theme of that, just a half a hair behind here at the plate. We'll see if Gentry makes him another mistake, but I would highly doubt it.
Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Both runners with really big leads. Nice job by Vickers trying to give a look at it, but a full count to Jack Mosh trying to load the bases for the Mustangs. Or even better, put one home here with 2 outs.
Now both runners will be going. Just got to make sure he goes home, but...
The 3-2 pitch to Mosh. Down low, and he works the full count walk. And the bases are going to be loaded for Dom Felix. And right now, a big opportunity for him to chip back at this Bomber lead. And we are going, looks like, maybe just a mound visit. Just to kind of settle down Gentry here with the bases loaded.
I definitely think it is just to settle down Gentry because, again, he's given up hits. And, again, I've always said this throughout this season. You can live with teams getting hits on you. And that's what leads to base runners. It's when those walks start to accumulate and your fielders just get stagnant, standing in the same place. Now it's right here. This is a little bit more like we were used to seeing from Mustangs hitters. Being patient at the plate, not chasing, working the walks when they can. And now let's see if Felix can come through with that big hit. We never really saw that big hit last time. I mean, 4 of their 5 runs were scored on sac flies.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can just get that big hit. Big hit coming. Make Gentry pay for these self-induced mistakes.
It's what the Mustangs have been doing all season long. Right now, loading those bases, stacking them up, and putting players like this in good spots to just drive in that hit. Just get it over. Doesn't have to be anything special. Freeman's got speed on second. First pitch to Felix in the zone inside for strike 1. But with the speed that Freeman especially possesses, Mosh with some speed. Try and put something down in that outfield. It's Felix 0-1 to Gentry. And there it goes past Vickers. Here comes Gundelfinger to score the first run of the ball game for the Mustangs, and both runners move up an extra 90 feet. So still 2 runners in scoring position, but the Mustangs get their first run here of the night.
Just that pressure that creates with base runners and the chaos. Gentry really in his head, thinking through it too much. And that one, I mean, one of the few bad misses we've seen from Gentry. Just pulled his arm way too much.
Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike to Felix. So Felix in the wheelhouse right now, trying to get that hit. Make this a 3-run ball game for the Mustangs. 2-1 from Gentry. Big swing and a miss from Felix. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Even though Gentry hasn't been able to locate that breaking ball in this inning, it's what he got Felix to chase last at bat. See if he goes back to that, tries to drop it on that inside corner. If that pitch coming on the inside corner, Felix has got to turn on it.
2-2, fouls it off, keeping the at-bat alive. 2 outs. Freeman on third, Mosh on second. And it's Dom Felix out of Tucson, Arizona, trying to put a big hit on the board for the Mustangs. 2-2 pitch from Gentry. Swing and a miss, and Gentry a fist pump. And he leaves 2 runners in scoring position, but not before Tyler Gundelfinger scampers home for the Mustangs' first run of the ballgame. It starts with 1, and the Mustangs, down 5, are trying to climb their way back here at Phil Welch. Bombers lead it 6-1 as we're headed to the top of the 6th here on YouTube. Mustangs' third pitcher out of the bullpen. It'll be Gage Busby, making his 7th appearance on the season. 1 for 2 so far, 10-1 innings pitched, a 6.10 ERA, and a strikeout walk ratio of 14-7. And here we go, Truman, just trying to work that bullpen, trying to continue to put those zeros on the board. The last 2 innings, Cade Perkins did a good job coming in and filling that role. And right now, just getting that 1 run could be the start. You just got to rely on that bullpen to keep doing their job.
Cade Perkins certainly did his job, and for Busby, it's been roughed up in his past couple outings, looking to get back to being the Gage Busby we saw earlier this season. And I think really got to establish the breaking ball. These bomber hitters are just sitting fastball. If you can establish that breaking ball and use the fastball as a complement pitch, that's where you can have some real success here against Sedalia.
Busby does have a really nice changeup and slider, and we'll have to see if he wants to rely on those. It's the first pitch ball to Jaden Roberts, leading it off, and a big swing and a miss for strike 1. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Here in the top 6, Mustangs trying to keep this lead at 5, and Jaden Roberts so far 0 for 2 with a walk in the first and a strikeout and a pop-up to the pitcher. 1-1 pitch downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Busby, a tall stature and a big frame, has a big whip around that wingspan. There's that off speed, and it catches inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Roberts. Busby trying to get an early punch out here. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Roberts. Doesn't bite on the outside slider. We're full at 3-2.
Another thing is bomber hitters haven't been chasing. Got to just attack the zone, and that's the scary part. When a team's just not chasing, makes it infinitely harder for pitchers.
3-2 pitch from Busby is going to be a pop-up high in the air over to the second base area. Mosh calling everyone off and makes the nice catch for the first out. And Busby, early first batter, retired.
Great job there by Mosh. Said he had it early, called George off, so George was able to get out of there. It's a great lesson to learn. Being loud as a middle infielder, one of the most important skills you can have. Being vocal. I mean, being vocal in general on the baseball field is a must-have. You can be quiet, you can be an introvert in your personal life, but when you get on that baseball field, you got to have a sense of presence.
So it'll bring up Dalton Miller, batting the 3-hole. Off-speed catches the zone for strike 1. 1 for 2 so far tonight, a single back in the second. Struck out swinging in the 4th, his last, and he's going to put a sharp liner over to third, gets under the glove of Felix. And a 1-out base hit, second of the night for Miller, as that's hit number 10 for the Bombers.
That was one of those, I think Felix was playing the short hop or playing a hop, and that ball just hit the dirt and just kept on going, no real hop. That's one Felix is going to want back. He was in a great position. Couldn't come through to glove that one.
Felix, a good job so far tonight on that hot corner, has really gotten some good picks, but was expecting that. But just a solid line shot on the ground from Miller. Big swing and a miss from Connor Rice. 2 hits on his night so far, 1 in the second and 1 in the 4th. 0-1 from Busby. Outside for ball 1, evens it up, 1 ball and a strike. Dalton Miller so far, 2 runs on the night for him. 1 in the 1st and 2nd. See if they can utilize him with an out. See if the Bombers can continue to penetrate. Down low, 2 balls and a strike to Rice. The 2-1 pitch to Connor Rice. Off speed again, catches the zone. That Busby pitch has really been working so far here in this half of the inning, and having to see if he can pay off on that with 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's where Busby's at his best. When he has command of that curveball, it really sets up his other pitches nicely, and we have yet to see a Bomber take a hack at that curveball.
It's hard to judge out of that tall frame of Busby. Catches the zone at the last second. And a good payoff foul ball from Connor Rice, keeping the at-bat alive. Busby in the wheelhouse right now, trying to put the second out on the board. There goes Rice swinging on the curveball. That'll be Busby's first strikeout And a big second out for the Mustangs. Dalton Miller still held up on first.
And that thing is just nasty. Just drops off the face of the earth. I mean, that pitch, it looks like a fastball, and then hitter swings, and that pitch probably has about 18 inches of vertical break on it. I mean, that is just a great pitch. Busby really ripping it over the top.
2 outs, and to bring up Caden Edmondson. Strike one from Busby. Trying to retire the side. Oh, just the one hit. It was the same outcome last inning for Perkins. Hit with 2 outs and got the 3rd out on Carter Rice. 0-1 pitch, finds the zone once again. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Edmondson. And here goes Busby, trying to put another 0 on the board for the Mustangs.
Edmondson's eating out of his hand. He's backing out of the box on that last pitch.
He's going to line it over to George, puts a glove on it. He's going to have to hustle over to first, and he beats Edmondson there for the 3rd out. Full out effort, and it leaves 1 on the base paths for the Bombers. 3rd straight inning with a 0 on the scoreboard, exactly what the Mustangs were asking for out of Busby. But we're headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mustangs trail of 5 here on YouTube. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Mustangs trail at 6-1. And still out on the mound for the Bombers, Maverick Gentry, 6th inning of work, and he's been dominant, only 1 run on 3 hits, and the Mustangs just haven't had an answer yet on him at the mound.
They just need to find multiple runs. It's hard to believe because they were just scoring, it seemed like 2, 3, 4 runs an inning early in the season. They have not scored multiple runs in a league game this week since back on June 24th, which was Tuesday, in Game 2 of the doubleheader. They put up 3 in the 4th inning against Chillicothe, but against Clarinda on Thursday, it was 3 innings of 1 run. Last night against Carroll, 5 innings of only 1 run. Tonight, it's been 1 run the 1 time. I'd like to see if they can put multiple runs up on the board.
Kim gloves it, a nice play as he had to cover a lot of ground on the hop. It's Huey, and he fields it. A nice play by Kim, had to cover some ground as George put it up the middle. But a first out play, and a nice one for Gentry.
That was a good swing by George. He ambushed a pitch, but just hit that mound and then hit the grass, and that just slowed it down. That ball looked like it was destined for center field. Then for Kim, I mean, great play to glove it, and then knew he wasn't going to be able to get full arm on a line. Gives his first baseman a nice big hop. That's what you want to see. You'd rather the big hop than the short hop. And Kim, beautifully done right there.
It was for the first out. It'll bring up Jaden Little up to the box. 1-0 quickly goes 2 balls, no strikes. Little so far 0 for 2, grounded out to 3rd back in the 4th, and struck out swinging back in the 2nd. Only 3 team hits so far for the Mustangs, trying to increase that. Down low in the dirt. Quickly 3 balls and no strikes. It's been the whole thing for these Mustangs. The last couple of innings, getting that first out of the way, and then getting that second runner on base. And Little's trying to do the exact same thing here in the bottom of the 6th. And he will. 4-pitch walk issued to Jaden Little, and the second batter of the inning once again gets issued over to first base. Mustangs got to take advantage here. Chris Coy coming up to bat.
Don't understand what it is with getting the second man on for these Mustangs and for Gentry. I mean, he's done a great job getting the leadoff man out, and Mustangs still have yet to get the leadoff man on. And it's hard because you're basically sacrificing an out. You're down to 2 outs now trying to score runs, and they've done it last inning. Can they do it and just continue to stack?
Coy puts a nice drive into right center field. That one's trailing up just enough for Edmondson in right field, and he makes the catch for the second out. Little stays put at first, as it'll bring up 8th hole hitter Parker Griffith. Griffith so far tonight 0 for 2. Grounded out to shortstop back in the 5th. Struck out looking back in the 2nd. Trying to get some life to the Mustangs here in the bottom of the 6th as we head in close to the final 3. Little still on first, down low in the dirt. Here goes Little to second. Vickers throw down in time. Tag not in, and Little will advance on the passed ball. And now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Great jump by Little. It's a great block by Vickers, but again, Little's reaction time was faster than Vickers, who had to scramble to get to that one.
Griffith's trying to come through. Off speed, finds the zone, evens it up at a ball and a strike.
Fortunately, that kind of has been Griffith's kryptonite this season, that breaking ball. Hasn't gotten many hits off breaking balls from pitchers. He's been more of a fastball hitter. I'd like to see if he can sit back on one, find some grass.
Down a ball and 2 strikes. I'd like to see it too. Griffith has that possession of power on that back leg. Has launched one over here at Phil Welch. Did it on the road stand. He's got power. He's just really got to be a little bit disciplined here in these approaches. There's a ball and 2 strikes. Gentry delivers, and that's going to drill Griffith on the back. And that'll plate the runners on first and second for the Mustangs.
See if the Mustangs have any 2-out magic in them. So you're getting these free passes now. Can you find a big hit? 5 combined free passes these past 2 innings. Only 1 run and no hits. Now that you got Gentry, he's a little wild, little erratic, trying to extend him as long as Sedalia can. He's bound to make a mistake. I mean, Gundelfinger, big hole in that right side. If you can flip this lineup over, some good chances putting multiple runs up.
First pitch, Gundy's looking at it down low for ball 1. Big hole, like you mentioned. Left and center playing kind of near the pull side. Gundelfinger only has to do is put a flare over there, and that'll score Little. It's Little and Griffith. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 pitch in the zone for strike 1. Mustangs, all they got to do, keep throwing zeros on, but you got to start scoring runs each inning. Might need a couple multi-run innings here, but here with 2 outs, Mustangs need a little bit of an answer from Gundelfinger. 1-1 delivery from Gentry. Looked at in the dirt down low. 2 balls and a strike. Nice discipline put on from Gundelfinger. Walk here would load the bases for Truman Bodenhausen at the top of the order. Two-one pitch. Nice block by Vickers, keeping it in front. 3 balls and a strike to Gundelfinger. In a good spot here.
I think if Gentry walks Gundelfinger right here, I think Sedalia is ready to go to the bullpen. Not willing to face the top of the order for a 4th time.
Gundelfinger saw something he liked in the zone. Got a little bit too in front of it. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. I could agree with that one. Right here, a big full count. Gentry could get out of it with 2 runners left on. Or load the bases for the top of the order for the Mustangs. Bodenhausen is 0 for 3 so far tonight. Full count pitch, swung on and fouled off from Gundelfinger. And a nice catch made by these fans.
See if Gundelfinger can avoid something on the ground. It's hard to believe. Only 1 out has been made in the air tonight by Mustangs hitters. It's been just worm burner after worm burner.
3-2 pitch, down low in the dirt, and Gundelfinger's walked, and we have bases loaded once again for the Mustangs. As we're back to the top of the order with Bodenhausen. Big hit incoming would be the hope for everyone here at Phil Welch. And Bodenhausen's in a spot to do it, and here we go. We are going to get some movement in the pen, and I think they're ready to give Gentry his time off after a really nice outing, but has the bases full with 2 outs.
Gentry gave him all he could. I mean, 5 2/3, 1 run is more than you can ask for against the top offense in the Mink, the top team in the Mink. I mean, his team spotted him 6 runs early. Just continued to mow down these hitters. Just those free passes got away from him. I mean, 3 hits allowed, but these last 2 innings, 6 free passes. So he was wavering, and now he's going to give it over to the bullpen, which has been one of the struggle points for Sedalia. But they're only 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
We'll come back, introduce their new pitcher out of the bullpen, but bases are loaded for your Mustangs. Down 5, Truman Bodenhausen comes up to the plate in a big spot. We'll have that coming up here on YouTube. It'll be Aiden Moriarty out of the pen for the Bombers in a tough spot. 2 outs, bases loaded for Truman Bodenhausen, trying to come through for the first time tonight for the Mustangs. In a big spot, Truman here for the Stangs.
Need him to come through. RBI man all season. And again, just trying to find that one big hit.
First pitch inside, looking to see if they can ambush right out of the pen. Good job by Bodenhausen, realizing couldn't get in front of that. First pitch ball. Bodenhausen 0 for 3, trying to change that. Down to the dirt, that gets past Vickers. Incoming to score is Little for the second run of the game for the Mustangs. And once again, a wild pitch plates home another run for the Mustangs, and both runners advance 90 feet. Still 2 runners in scoring position for Bodenhausen.
Love to see it. Just the aggressiveness. Moriarty out of the pen, struggling with his command. And they'll take free passes. Again, it's where the free passes hurt you. Saw that from Dittmer in the open for the Mustangs. That one big hit can be so killer.
2-0 to Bodenhausen. He'll watch it go by in the zone for strike 1. 2-1 now to Bodenhausen. Just really needs to put something into a gap or flare it down the line. It's Gundelfinger on second. Griffith on third. 2-1 is Bodenhausen. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Big swing and a miss. Evens it out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bodenhausen looking to keep this at-bat alive any way possible now with 2 strikes.
Moriarty not going to bring it in velocity, low 80s. It's that movement. It's the off-speed. Changeup going to dive away, curveball. Just don't chase if you're Bodenhausen.
2-2 pitch upstairs and a good catch by Vickers, keeping it in. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes to the one-hole hitter in Bodenhausen. Looking to load the bases up once again for Darius Freeman on deck.
Dangerous hitter on deck. If you're Moriarty, you want to get Bodenhausen. If you're Bodenhausen, extend it to Freeman.
And a nice watched ball there from Bodenhausen. He draws the full count walk. And the bases are loaded for Mr. Darius Freeman in the 2-hole. Gets the righty-lefty matchup that he needs in a big spot Down 4 runs. Mustangs trying to come through, and they got their guy coming to the plate.
He's only been retired once, and it's been hard. It's been a battle each of the times Gentry faced him. This is a guy, if you're Moriarty, you're going to have to pitch him away. If you try to come in, Freeman will turn and burn. Elevate and celebrate.
We'll see if he can do just that. Goes inside on Freeman. A ball quickly to him, and Freeman knows how to get ahead of those pitches. If he notices a fastball, he'll get that bat around so fast you won't even see it go by. Freeman looking for a big swing here. Puts a big swing into center field, giving chases Roberts. That one is back, and that one is caught by Roberts in center field. An amazing grab, keeps the bases loaded, and Freeman, a nice swing, ends up the 3rd out of the inning. As we're headed into the top of the 7th, all runners left on base, as the Mustangs still trail it 6-2 as we're headed to the 7th inning. Mr. Brightside rings along Phil Welch on Mizzou night, but we have another trivia question for you guys at home on July 6, 2024. Which Mustangs pitcher threw a perfect game against the Nevada Griffins? Was it Sam Pitts, Camden Lutz, Denton Biller, or Roy Holcomb? Some really nice Mustangs pitchers in that answer box, as it's Gage Busby back on the mound for his 2nd inning here to play. Mustangs still down 4, but the last 3 innings, Truman, have had zeros on the board. In the last 2, the Mustangs have came through with a run.
Yeah, they're just, again, chipping away, but now we get later in the game. But, again, for the Mustangs pitching, all you're worrying about is throwing up zeros. Don't worry about what your offense is doing. If you continue to throw up zeros, it at least gives them a chance.
It does speak volumes, and it has this season, the way the Mustangs bullpen has really amplified the offense. A slow week in the office so far, but bullpen still doing their job, as it's Chris Miller leading it off as he fouls it off for a ball and a strike. Miller 0 for 3 on his night, grounded out to Mosh back in the 4th. Still looking for his first hit on a 10-team hit night for the Bombers. Another swing down the right field line. It'll go foul. Ball and 2 strikes to Miller, issued from Busby. Looking confident once again, trying to attack that zone on these Sedalia hitters. 1-2 delivery here from Busby. It's looked at in a close call. Just off the outside part. Evens it back up 2 balls and 2 strikes to Miller.
Miller's lucky he wanted to go after that pitch. Curveball is just on point. Tight break, tight spin. Throw him it again.
That one just misses once again. Me and Truman liked it up here in the booth. It just missed up on that top half. Full count here to Miller, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch from Busby. Fouled off once again from Miller, keeping the at-bat alive on a full count. Miller looking for his first appearance on base so far in this night as well. The 3-2 pitch from Busby. Upstairs, and a full count walk issued to Busby. Puts the Bombers' leadoff hitter on base.
That's what these Mustangs pitchers out of the pen have done such a good job. Keeping the leadoff hitter off base, but right there, Busby just loses Miller, now he's got the bottom of the order. Got to get the 7, 8, 9. Don't allow the top of the order to come to the plate with runners in scoring position.
Got to keep him on first. Almost a little bit of a pitch out to Griffith. He'll keep him on first. Like Truman was saying, it's really important with the 0 outs. Try and go for that double play. Just try and eliminate that base runner early. As it brings up Nathan Huey. And Huey does have a hit tonight. It was back in the third. 1 for 3 on his line. 2-0 Busby to Huey. Has him. And Huey doing a nice job. Now works a 3-0 count on Busby. Trying to avoid back-to-back walks with no outs to start his half of the inning.
Kind of seeing why Busby's season has been up and down. Last inning, razor sharp. This inning, command a little bit eluded him.
3-0 pitch finds the zone. 3 balls and a strike to Huey. See if Busby can come back, maybe get a payoff foul ball off the bat, or put something on the ground. 3 balls and a strike to Huey. Outside, and he'll work the 5-pitch walk, and now back-to-back walks. Has a runner in scoring position for the Bombers on second, and Huey on first.
That's not what you want. We've also seen that a lot this week. Mustangs hitters score runs, and the most important thing you want to do as a pitching staff, come out and put up a 0. That was the thing last night. Early in that game against Carroll, Mustangs were scoring, but then immediately Carroll was answering off Mustangs pitching. And right here, I mean, Busby, they only put up 1, but you're coming out now and just not looking like yourself. Like to see here if the pinch hitter Ryan Retone maybe lays down a bunt, play a little small ball.
A bunt would be very nice here for the Bombers, trying to advance them both into scoring position with just an out. In a big spot as ever. There goes the bunt shown from Ryan Retone. As he comes in for Jishu Kim. George and Felix infield in. He's going to put down another bunt sign. Another good bunt put down. Felix is going to have a glove. He's going to make a tough throw over to Mosh. Gets him at first, but a nice bunt put down. Like you mentioned, Truman advances those runners over for the Bombers. And now 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position are just a hit away from blowing open this lead once again.
Yeah, great job there by Retone. Almost beat it out as that bunt was hard enough by Busby, but Felix got a great jump on it. And Mosh showing off first baseman stretch. And now, as you can see, infield in, that's what you got to do. You got to keep this lead at 4. Infield's going to be in. Like to see maybe pitch him high in the zone. If you can get a pop-up, not too deep, that's where you'd like to be at.
First pitch swinging is Vickers. That's going to get down. Coming in to score is Miller. Huey held at third. And a back pick to Vickers, but an RBI single from Lance Vickers opens the lead back up to 6 runs for the Bombers.
Fortunately for Busby, that pitch right down the middle. Just not the pitch you wanted when you're trying to preserve the lead and try to get an out. Credit to Vickers. He was right on top of it. They've been really dominant at the plate. Now, again, another tough situation, top of the order.
Bombers now lead at 7-2 on 11 team hits. Vickers' first hit of the night. Second hit of the night, my apologies. His first RBI of the night. 1-0 back to the top of the order, and Carter Rice, still a runner just 90 feet away with an out. Could put something in the outfield and break this lead open to 6.
See if Vickers tries to steal, get out of that double play, or at least try the double steal and get the runner home.
He'll stay put off speed from Busby's on line once again, quickly. A ball and 2 strikes to the number 1 hitter, Carter Rice, here in tonight's ball game. Trying to eliminate that double play. We'll have to see. There goes Vickers. Swing and a miss, and that'll be a strikeout. And Vickers will move up to second on the strikeout, but 2 outs on the board for the Mustangs. A little bit of comfortability for Busby as it brings up Jaden Roberts.
Little surprise, Griffith didn't try to throw down I mean, I know you don't know it's going to be a strikeout till the guy swings through, but would have at least liked to see, gamble with the strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Could have been a good position there as well. Maybe a pick there. Maybe Mosh could have cut it off. Might have tried to catch Huey off guard on third. His first pitch misses to Roberts. 2 runners in scoring position now, 190 feet, 180 feet away on third and second. Base hit here could be dangerous. Busby trying to keep them where they're at with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Swinging over, and Coy's going to field it on the hop. Strong throw over to first in time. And he leaves 2 on, but 1 run does come home on the RBI single off of Lance Vickers. And the Bombers extend their lead back to 5 runs. They lead it 7-2 as we're headed to the bottom 7th. Here in the final 9 outs for the Mustangs come up. We have 7th inning stretch here at Phil Welch. We'll be back. Bomber coming out of the pen here on YouTube. Sam Russo out of the pen. And Truman, last time the Bombers were in town, you mentioned you did play Sam Russo out of Nixa High School back in your high school days, and he finds himself in an unordinary spot coming out of the bullpen. Moriarty could be out with an injury, and Russo, predominantly an outfielder, in here to try and keep the Mustangs quiet.
He's got to pick up. Mustangs still have not come through with that big hit. They've gotten plenty of base runners. I mean, they've left 9 base runners on tonight. They just can't come through with that big hit. But for Russo, just about throwing strikes, just about getting outs by any means necessary.
It'll be Jack Mosh to lead it off. So far 0 for 1 on his night with a ground out to the pitcher and 2 walks down low in the dirt. For ball 1, Russo, a solid hitting season so far, batting .288, 80 at-bats on 23 hits. He's got 4 home runs on 23 walks and 24 RBIs, so Russo predominantly one of the better hitters for this Bomber lineup. Now finds himself trying to close out some innings here in the later half of the ballgame. 1-0, Mosh works the first pitch walk, gets a talking to from Vickers. Russo. Osby downstairs. Mosh quickly 2-0. We were talking about it in the break. If there's a time that the Mustangs need to attack, it's now. A guy who's predominantly not a pitcher, maybe try and catch it off guard. Mosh, a big swing, fouled off. And if you can see, out on second base, in Raton, he's playing in the grass. He knows Mosh can get ahead on Russo, who lacks velocity, and Raton is ready for it on the grass. Downstairs, and second strike to Mosh. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Russo. 2-2 pitch from Russo to Mosh. Mosh puts a swing on it with the fireworks in the background, and that is going to be caught in left field by Miller for the first out. And a big first out from Russo to start out the inning.
Gets Mosh up and away. Wasn't able to get on top of that. Lazy fly ball. We've just seen that a lot tonight from these Mustangs hitters, sadly. No real hard contact outside of a couple hits by Darius Freeman and Dom Felix. It's been a lot of weak hits on the ground and just a couple of pop-ups in the air.
Dom Felix watches the first one off the ground for ball one. Felix, 1 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts back in the fourth and the fifth, but singled back in the first. Only 1 of 3 hits so far for these Mustangs. 1-0 pitch downstairs, and Felix works a nice 2-0 count on Russo. Downstairs once again, Felix a nice 3-0 spot. And these second-hole hitters trying to get on base once again to start the inning. Finds the zone for strike one, so Russo a little bit of life with Felix. 3-1 here. Why not go ahead and try and put something in the gap? Three-one pitch, and Felix gets walked. And another two-hole batter in the inning gets put on base with 1 out here on the board.
Again, just chipping away. You have another base runner. You're going to find more. It's just, can you bring them in? That's really the big question we're going to keep asking. It's been the same formula.
Yeah.
Leadoff man gets out. Next couple guys get on. But again, the question, where is that big hit? Who's going to come through? Who's going to step up and say, me, I'm going to do it for the team, come through with a big hit, get the momentum going in our favor.
Justin George trying to do exactly that, trying to get the big hit in the zone. For strike one, George really likes to crowd that plate as those arms kind of go over with that batting stance, but Russo did a good job trying to find it. A 1 pitch to George, swung on and fouled off on the right side. Quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. With Felix on first. JG down 0-2, trying to stay alive. Puts a flare into right field. Edmondson, an easy play for the second out. Felix stays put at first. And that'll bring up Jaden Little with 2 outs.
She got jammed right there. If he's able to pull that ball, he's probably yanking that down the line for a double. But it got in on his hands, missed the barrel, and it's just a lazy fly ball to right. Been impressed by Russo. Again, not predominantly a pitcher. Pitched in his high school days, but it's been honestly probably a couple years.
Split step over to Little. Ball 1, but a good snag once again by Vickers. Vickers has been making some good stops behind the plate, keeping these Mustangs runners on. Just a couple have gotten by him for some runs, and the only 2 runs of the ball game have actually came from wild pitches. 1-0 to Little. Catches the zone outside for strike 1. Evens it up at a ball and a strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Final 7 outs of the ball game for the Mustangs. Little trying to put it back into go mode. Up 2 balls and a strike. Trying to get Felix around. Put some runners in scoring position. 2-1 pitch right down the middle for strike 2. So now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jaden Little.
Bruce is not going to blow you away with velocity. It's just about timing up whatever he throws at you.
2-2 pitch goes down and inside, so we're full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jaden Little. Three-two pitch, swing and a miss, and Russo gets Little swinging on strikes, and it'll leave Felix on first. Groans from the home crowd start to emerge from Phil Welch as the Mustangs go down with just 1 on base, and they still trail at 7-2 as we head into the 8th inning of play as the Mustangs trail it by 5 here on YouTube. Made it to the 8th inning of play, and the Mustangs go back to the bullpen. It'll be Sam Pitts making his 6th appearance. Win-loss this year of 2-0, 18 innings pitched with a 3 ERA and a K-walk ratio of 16-8. But back to our second trivia question of the night. We asked you on July 6, 2024, which Mustangs pitcher threw a perfect game against the Nevada Griffins. And if you guessed, guess who? Sam Pitts. That is correct, and he is out to pitch tonight out of the bullpen. And he did throw a perfect game last summer against the Griffins, and he's looking to put another 0 on the board on the Sedalia Bombers. Dalton Miller leading it off here in the 8th inning, trying to put some fireworks on the board once again for the Bombers. 2 hits on the night for Miller. Both singles, came around to score twice this game. 3-hole hitter, a big frame he has, possesses power. He's got a nice lefty-righty matchup. Pitch trying to do the job out of the pen. First pitch, that's going to be lined into right field in the 3rd hit of the night for Dalton Miller. And team hit number 12 for the Bombers.
Just ambushed one right there. Been very impressed by Miller's approach. Your Pitts hasn't pitched in a while, but again, just attacking the zone. Again, you can live with hits. It's the walks and the hit by pitches. That's where you get in trouble. So you're just keeping attacking that zone. Not every hitter is going to get a hit off you.
Brings up Connor Rice. He's first pitch swinging on Pitts, and he fouls it off straight behind for strike 1. Miller was held up on first back in the 6th inning. Pitts trying to do the same job here. No outs on the board. Like Truman said, the ambush has started from the Bombers out of the pen with Pitts. Off speed, just misses the zone on the top outside for ball 1, so evens the count up at a ball and a strike. One and one to Rice. Off speed, and he's swinging it, and that's going to be flared into left field. Just misses the glove of Coy. In back-to-back singles for the Bombers. Puts a runner in scoring position. And Pitts, 2 quick batters, 2 quick hits.
That's just a grown man's hit right there. Just off the hands, just muscles it into left field. And again, seen a lot of that. That can be frustrating about allowing hits as a pitcher when you allow a lot of those. But again, give credit to Sedalia. They're swinging at good pitches, and fortunate for them, their base hits are falling, and for the Mustangs, they just haven't had anything fall.
Pitts' 3rd batter this inning is Caden Edmondson as he welcomes him. Foul ball on the first pitch. Pitts out of Cochise College. This last spring, appeared in 11 games, a win-loss record of 2-0, 24.2 innings pitched, only allowed 28 hits and 13 earned runs and an ERA of 4.74 at Cochise. Chopped up the middle to Coy. He's going to glove it, flips it up to Mosh for 1. Edmondson safe at first. They're going to pick back at 3rd on Miller, but he's safe. And that moves another runner into scoring position just 90 feet away. And runners on the corners for the Bombers.
Great job there by Mosh. I mean, that's what you're taught. You know you're not going to be able to turn. You give a nice, decisive arm fake, and he almost got Miller, who had creeped off on a big turn around 3rd. Felix maybe had been in the right position to lay down a tag. Might have gotten him, but now you got 1 out. Now you got to get another hard ground ball to turn another double play.
Down in the dirt for ball 1. Just the 1 out like you mentioned. Runners on the corners. It's Chris Miller up next here for the Bombers. Miller drew a walk back in the 7th and ended up coming around to score on the RBI single from Vickers. 1-0 pitch, skied, pop fly, going foul. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike on Miller. Miller, who was 0 for 3 last time out against the Mustangs, finds himself out 0 for 3 with the walk. So same exact approach here at Phil Welch as last time. Ball and a strike from Pitts. Nice off-speed pitch. Gets Miller out front. He's swinging. A ball and 2 strikes. And Pitts trying to get a 2nd out on the board.
Strikeout would be huge. Just chase the breaking ball. I'd like to raise the eye level. Fastball up, and if he doesn't chase that, then you go back to that breaking ball.
1-2 delivery upstairs. Here goes the runner, and he's going to be safe. And stealing the base is going to be Edmondson. A good throw down from Griffith. Boos rained from the crowd. A good throw. It did look like Edmondson might have just gotten that foot on the bag before the tag was applied by Mosh.
Yeah, I think Mosh was caught looking at the runner at third, so he didn't immediately lay down the tag, and he was a little far off second base. I think if he lets that throw ride, I think he's out. Just one of those things, just trying to think of the next play, but also just try and get the out sometimes. Just go for the out. And a good throw by Griffith.
Outside, full count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Infield in with just the out, with runners on third and second. A nice spot for Miller to break open another big surge for the Bombers. In the last 4 innings, only 1 run has came across. Looking to change that. 3-2, just misses the outside part. And now the bases are full with just an out. A good pitch put on by Pitts. Just misses.
Honestly, not the worst walk. It sets up the double play now at anywhere. So your middle is going to be back. Corners are going to be in. Ground ball to Felix or George. They're going to be coming home unless it's to their left or right. Then in the middle, I mean, you're just hoping for a hard ground ball.
Lefty-lefty matchup on Nathan Huey. Down low, ball 1. Pitts can probably get Huey tied up on that off speed if he can really try and locate it well. Quickly 1-0 to Huey. Bases loaded, just an out for the Bombers. Runs inside, quickly 2 balls and no strikes to the 7-hole hitter. It's going to be Miller on third, Edmondson on second, and Chris Miller on first. Big swing and a miss from Huey. 2 balls and a strike.
Got to stay away from that barrel. Honestly, might prefer something on the outer half. That way, barrel into the ground. If you jam him, might be hard trying to turn 2.
Off-speed pitch, rung over the plate. Just out in front of it was Huey. And now Pitts got him in a good spot at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two approach to Huey. It's going to be fouled straight back, keeping the at-bat alive. Big swing on, just keeping himself up at the box.
Got to find that put-away pitch, whether that's the breaking ball, down and away, or whether that's the fastball, low and in.
Once again, fouled off on 2-2 is Huey, keeping himself alive.
That was that breaking ball on the outside part, and that was a good pitch. Huey just somehow got his bat on it. Like to maybe see that again. You still have a ball to waste. Again, ideal scenario is a hard ground ball at one of your fielders, and they're able to turn 2.
Just got to get something hard. Just kind of, you can see George playing close at first for that play at home. Mosh and Coy, double play depth. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Huey. Off speed down in the dirt, full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Huey's done a good job working himself back into it. A walk here would score a run for the Bombers.
You just challenge him right here. A walk again. The difference between a walk and a single, nothing. You challenge him. You don't try to avoid the zone. You try to go for the strikeout, but again, you got to throw a competitive pitch right here.
Big 3-2 pitch from Pitts upstairs, and Huey drives in the run on the walk, and that'll be run number 8 for the Bombers, and they take a 6-run lead here with only 1 out in the top of the 8th.
Not much to say that's already been said. Just beating the head of a dead horse. It's just walks have really killed Mustangs pitching tonight. It's been walks, and then Sedalia has been able to come through with that big hit. It's just been, and then when they have gotten competitive with pitches, Sedalia's been on them because of how uncompetitive pitches beforehand. It's just a very uncharacteristic night.
And Ryan Retone's going to get hit on the pitch, and that'll drive in run number 9 for the Bombers. And Retone, it was up near his neck area. He'll walk over safely, but that will bring in Edmondson from third. And now, extra 90 feet for all the runners, still bloated for Pitts. Brings up the 9-hole hitter, Lance Vickers, an RBI single, last inning in the 7th. Just an out. He has a good spot, and he's going to put a deep pop fly into center field, just enough. Getting ready to come home, Chris Miller. Freeman makes the catch. Here comes Miller. Throw just left of the bag, and Chris Miller will come in to score easily for the 10th run. And yet another RBI for Lance Vickers in that 9-hole spot, and he drives it in with the sacrifice fly.
Vickers able to do enough for his team, just come through with a hit.
Third base open now. It'll be back to the top of the lineup for Carter Rice. A walk here wouldn't hurt you once again. So you got an open base, but a runner on second in Huey. And Retone on first. 3 runs so far here in the 8th for the Bombers. They lead it 10-2. Off-speed catches the inside part of the zone for strike 1. Good payoff pitch from Pitts. Mustangs have had their way with the Bombers so far this season. They're 3-0. Back on the 10th, they won 6-0. Off-speed pitch fouled off for strike 2. On the 10th, they won 6-0. On the 14th of June, winning 12-5. Then on the 17th, you win 7-3, and just a totally different approach from the Bombers as they lead it 10-2 here in the 8th. They're still looking for more with 2 outs. 0-2. It's Carter Rice upstairs. Draws ball 1, 1-2. All right, now the Mustangs just trying to avoid their first run rule of the year. Swing and a miss from Carter Rice. And Pitts will leave 2 on the base paths, but not before 3 runs come across the score for the Bombers as we're headed to the bottom of the 8th. And the Mustangs now trail 8 runs, headed into their final 6 outs of play here on YouTube. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning of play here at Phil Welch, the Mustangs trail at 8 as we're going to get a quick look at a quick Mink League playoff picture as far as the season. At that 1 seed, it's going to be the St. Joseph Mustangs. At the 2 seed, the A's, who were currently losing in their respected battle against the Nemo Crays. We'll get a quick look at that. Does not look like it got updated. In the bottom of the 5th, it was 6-2. Actually, in top of the 9th, they are tied 6-6 with the Clarinda A's. But it'll be the Renegades. It'll be the Carroll Merchants at the 4th seed. It'll be at the 5 seed, wild card with the Renegades, 3-seeded Chillicothe Mudcats and the 6th-seeded Nevada Griffins. So nice playoff picture to just get a visual of what's happening around the Mink. But like I mentioned, top of the 9th, Clarinda tied with the Nemo Craze 6-6 with runners on second and first. But it's going to be Chris Coy just trying to get something going for the Mustangs. Down 8 runs. It's going to be a long hill to climb, Truman.
Hill is steep, but, you know, like the saying goes, it's not over till the fat lady sings. And all I'm seeing are a bunch of slim women out in tonight's crowd.
1-0. Coy puts a high pop fly, just got underneath it. Coming in Miller from left field, and he'll make the catch for the first out. Coy just got 2 underneath that inside fastball for the first out here in the 8th, and the Mustangs down to 5 outs. Brings up Parker Griffith. 0 for 3 so far in his night. He was hit by a pitch back in the 6th. Looking to get himself back on base here. Give some life to this Mustangs as they are back on the road tomorrow on Sunday. And I would say a much-needed rest day coming up on Monday. So they just need to recoup some things, get themselves back in order. 1-0 delivery, and there's a nice line drive put on by Griffith. That ball's going to get fair. Big turn around first goes Griffith towards second base, throw in. It's going to be cut off into the infield, and Parker Griffith, a 1-out double for the Mustangs. And there you go, just something to liven up the crowd and liven up the lineup, try and get him home for the 3rd run.
I definitely had some action during that mascot race. Goofy and I think they called him Janitor Woody.
Janitor Woody.
That is what happened to Woody, man, that he's now a janitor. I don't know. Don't at me on Twitter, but there was a little bit of beef going on. You know, that was the first time we'd seen Janitor Woody, so maybe Goofy just wasn't happy about that because he's like, he's only a janitor. Why does he deserve to race in the most prestigious race known to man?
Mascot race here at Phil Welch is no joke. No joke here. It's
right
not
up,
taken lightly.
Right up there with the President's race from Washington, the hot dog race at Kauffman Stadium, and I don't even know. I think it's just like the wiener race or whatever assorted linked meets happen in Milwaukee.
That's a good one too. Stella Gundelfinger, ball and a strike, got Griffith on second base. Down low in the dirt, good pick by Vickers. 2 balls and a strike to Gundelfinger. Gundelfinger 0 for 2 hit by a pitch in the 5th, drew a walk back in the 6th. Grounded out to short. Back in the 2nd. 2 balls and a strike. Russo still on the mound. Pop fly, that'll get near us to our roof, and that will give us a kerplunk. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gundelfinger.
Kerplunk. Underrated onomatopoeia.
You like the kerplunk?
Makes me think of water, though. I think more kerplunk is water because it's like boom, boom,
bloom. Oh, you're right. You can see that. Ball upstairs to Gundelfinger. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Justin out, trying to look and see if they can put the 3rd runner of the inning on base in first. It's got Bodenhausen at the top of the order on deck. Russo, the 3-2 pitch to Gundelfinger. A big swing put into center field. Just going to trail up enough for Roberts in center field. Griffith looked like he was going to go to third. He'll just still trail at second base for the 2nd out here in the 8th. Brings up Truman Bodenhausen at the top of the order.
Did have a kid tell me today during the Future Mustangs game that Truman is his favorite player, so thought he was meaning me.
Right, yes, yes.
You know, it can get confusing. You know, I haven't met very many Trumans in my life, and now I come here and it's like, are you talking about me or the player?
Or the player.
The player, you know.
As
Hopefully by the end of the season, someone will be like, no, I like Truman the broadcaster just a little bit more.
The guy in the booth. I think he's a little bit more cooler than the guy on the field, and I would agree. As Truman Bodenhausen watches the first one go by.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you got it. Me and Truman, before the game today, got to announce the Mustangs Futures game on the field, live PAing. First time for us this season. A new look from us, and it was a good time. It was pretty hot down on that field, but getting to interact with some of the players, and it was a good time. I'd say so. My purple team pulled out the W. Fouled off a ball and 2 strikes to Bodenhausen.
Your team may have won, but it was moral victory for my team.
100%.
So
you know what? I can see that.
sometimes the moral victory is bigger than the actual victory.
It sure is. On the inside, the real winners are the ones who have the heart, and the red team definitely did.
My rally got a hit. Your rally did not.
That is
for the
so
record,
true. That's so
for the
true.
record. Well, technically yours did too, but he got tossed out trying to run to second. So,
yeah,
my rally has bigger IQ than yours.
The base running, yeah, definitely
Needs to work on it.
Definitely does, and mine in the infield. He had the ball and he just raised it up. He didn't know what to do.
Well, he
with
was
it.
using such a big glove.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to feel around in that thing. There's a lot of pocket space.
There was a lot. Still a ball, 2 strikes to Bodenhausen. Another pop fly. This one looks a little bit more in fair. That one's just going to get foul. Hits the light pole on the bottom part. And we'll remain at a ball and 2 strikes. Parker Griffith still on second base. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Final 4 outs for the Mustangs as they trail 8 runs to the Bombers. Russo, predominantly not a pitcher, has been doing such a good job so far in his only 2 innings of work. That was the only hit he's given up to Griffith. 1-2 pitch is going to nail Bodenhausen on the outer leg, and now a runner on first and second. Griffith was taking off for third. But runner on first and second with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Darius Freeman.
Freeman, fortunately, absolutely smoked one his last time at bat when this game was much closer, and it looked like it was going to be destined to at least hit off the wall, but I mean, he chose to hit it out to, it says 400 out in center, but some of those parts just to the right of that, probably 405, 410, and unfortunately, whatever atmosphere, whatever air quality happens in the outfield, it just knocked that ball down.
Phil Welch graveyard with the bases loaded, just took it right down with him. First pitch swinging as Freeman fouls it off. 0-1 with 2 outs.
You know, for calling it the Phil Welch graveyard, there's no like mist or eeriness. It's actually a very quaint stadium. So you know, it's a deceptive graveyard. It's like the graveyard that's near my house. It's just,
it does look a little smoky out there. Or you know what, I'm tripping. That's from the fireworks as Freeman's going to ground it over. Griffith gives a little bit of a deke, and he's just going to have to glove it. A nice job by Griffith, just kind of putting himself there and kind of drawing off the defense of Rice. Bases loaded with 2 outs, brings up Jack Mosh.
Freeman will take a hit any way he can get it. And I mean, Griffith right there, he couldn't let the ball hit him or else he would have been called out. And it was a longer run for Connor Rice. He was playing more up the middle, playing more pull side to Freeman, and long run. His only play would have maybe been to third, but Griffith able to accelerate through the bag once he dodged it.
Another 2-out bases loaded approach here for the Mustangs, and it's Mosh. He's going to line it into left field. Coming in to score Griffith for the 3rd run of the ball game, and he'll hold Bodenhausen at third, but an RBI single from Mosh, and it takes anything for the Mustangs here. A little 2-out rally maybe, and it brings up Dom Felix.
Great approach right there from Mosh. Just went with the pitch. Didn't try to do too much with it, that pitch on the outer half. He said, all right, I'll hit it through the 5-6 hole. Great at bat there from Jack Mosh.
Second hit from Russo that he's allowed. Upstairs for ball 1. First run that Russo's allowed in his outing so far. Felix trying to put more on the board. Now 7 runs is the deficit for the Mustangs. Down low for ball 2, 2-0. Felix does possess the power to put a big fly on the board, and a grand slam here would put that at 3 runs for the Mustangs to deal with headed into the 9th. 2-0 pitch from Russo outside. Quickly 3-0. A walk here would walk home the 4th run for the Mustangs. The 3-0 pitch. Watches it go in the zone for strike 1. Now 3-1 approach for Felix. 1 for 3 so far in his night. And there it is. 5-pitch walk will walk home the 4th run of the ballgame in Bodenhausen. And the bases remain loaded as it brings up Justin George.
Great plate appearance right there. Plate discipline from Felix. Not trying to get it all back in one swing. Just keeping this line moving. Finally some 2-out ralliness from these Mustang hitters.
Deficit now at 6 runs. Still 4 outs in the game to deal with, but right now with the bases loaded, you don't know if you're going to have another one of these in the 9th inning, so you got to take advantage whenever you do have it. Got Freeman on third, Mosh on second, and Felix on first on the walk. So 2 guys on those scoring positions got the speed. Put it out in the outfield to get 2 more home. And you walk in with a 4-run deficit headed into the 9th, a little bit easier than 8 runs. First pitch to George outside for ball 1.
You got a guy at the plate who's due. He is due.
Had the double back in the 4th, but he's ready for more.
Things have been brewing. Last night a good game, but he is due for just a gaping hit just to rip a game open and bring some life to this Phil Welch crowd.
George, nice guy as he is, I would love to see something that could fire him up and fire this lineup up on 2-0. Puts a sharp liner, just gets foul for the first strike. George gave a smile over to the dugout as he knew he had something there, just got a little bit too ahead of it.
Got to know that Russo not going to blow you away with velocity. You're going to have to wait back on it, even with the fastball. Just be patient.
2-1 pitch to George. Puts a deep swing into it. Right field, giving chase. That is going to get over the glove of Edmondson. Incoming to score, Freeman. Coming around from second is Mosh. And another double, 2 RBI double for Justin George. He was due. He gets it. And now the Mustangs only trail 4 runs and still have 2 runners in scoring position.
Great job there by Justin George. Again, like we saw with his double back in the 4th, just went with the pitch. Put a great swing on it.
George answers. And he has Felix at third. George on second with the 2 RBI double. And that'll bring up Jaden Little. Big approach here. If he can put a base hit in, it'd only be a 2-run deficit. Watches the first one outside, and the Manic Mustangs, who were down 8 runs to enter in this inning, now only trail at 4. 2 straight balls outside. Little ahead 2-0 on Russo. Little here. Got to have a smart approach onto this ball. The 2-0 pitch from Russo. Down to the dirt. Quickly 3 balls at no strikes to Little.
Take a couple pitches. Russo's flustered. He's shown. He's going to just lay it in the zone. He's not going to try and use all of his stuff. He's just trying to find the zone. That's when you attack.
And down in the dirt in a 4-pitch walk. Loads the bases once again for the Mustangs with 2 outs. Little walks over to first, and it brings up Chris Coy in the biggest at-bat yet of this ball game for the Mustangs, who led off this inning. And they're going to get Russo out of this ball game as he loads the bases with 2 outs. Call to the bullpen for the Bombers. We're going to take a quick break, but the Mustangs with the bases loaded with 2 outs. They've scored 4 runs here in this inning, and they're looking for more here on YouTube. Bottom of the 8th, and the Bombers call upon Dante Johnson out of the bullpen. He'll make his 8th appearance of the season, has an 0-for-4 win-loss record, 18 innings pitched on 25 hits, 29 earned runs, and his K-to-walk ratio, 16 strikeouts to 23 walks, and a 14.50 ERA. Not the greatest pitcher the Bombers could call upon, but they did not bring that many pitchers with them here to St. Joe. And right now, Chris Coy, who's up with the bases loaded, could take advantage of a man who can get sporadic and get some runs. And it's go time now for the Mustangs.
Like I said at the beginning of the inning, it's not over till the fat lady sings. A lot of slim women here at Phil Welch. Oh, Ozempic.
And there you go. Here comes Felix to the plate. Not in time, and Felix knocks the ball with his hand as Vickers tried to throw it. And the 7th run of the game comes around to score. And now Coy, the tying run at the plate. 2 runners in scoring position. And what a first pitch out of the pen for the Mustangs. George moves up to third. Little up to second. Coy ahead 1-0. Down low in the dirt. Coy quickly up. 2 balls, no strikes.
Again, just Coy. Don't try to do too much. Don't help out Johnson by chasing something.
2-0. Coy watches the first strike on the outside part. Now he's seen it. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs. Raton back in the grass. Waiting for that outside fastball to go his way. Down low in the dirt. Coy ahead 3 balls and a strike on Johnson.
Johnson's still got to come to him. Be sitting middle. If you think it's going to be a ball, don't swing. You're not fully taking like 3-0, but
Coy fouls off the 3-1 pitch on the outside half of the plate. We're full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Coy in protect mode here with runners in scoring position.
it's really who's going to come up with the bigger pitch or the bigger swing. Who's the bigger man? Mano y mano.
Big pitch from Johnson, 3-2. Coy's going to foul it off, keep it alive. And that is going to be a balk issued to Johnson, and that'll bring Justin George home for the 8th run of the ball game. And another free one is gifted to the Mustangs, and that puts Little just 90 feet away. And it's 10-8. The Mustangs came in trailing 8. Now they just trail 2.
Got to come set if you're Johnson. I mean, I know you're trying to work quick, but it's just one of those things. We've seen that last week, and we've seen that this season, just pitchers rushing, not wanting to come set.
And Jaron Guck, who's the first base coach tonight, is giving some talks to the home plate umpire.
Just some chirping going on. I mean,
yeah,
sure, it's coming from both dugouts, but it's always one of those things. Once the umpire comes over, you know, everyone looks to their left and the right like, was it you? Was it you? I don't know.
I
Were you
don't know.
speaking Chinese? I couldn't hear.
6 runs here in the bottom of the 8th. Just 90 feet away is Little, trying to bring this game back within 1. Coy 3-2 is going to put a chopper over to short, a hop that he's going to have to deal with. Coy with speed is going to be safe at first, and Little scores the 7th run of the inning, and the Mustangs only trail it by 1. It is 10-9 in the bottom of the 8th.
Chris Coy, man, what an at-bat. What an inning from this team.
What an
I mean,
inning.
They did not quit. They could have quit. They could have been like, you know what? It's late. It's already 10:05. You know, last night's game went long. Let's just, you know, we'll call it quits. But no, they keep fighting, and they were like, we're not losing tonight. We're not losing and getting blown out. We're giving everything we have.
Griffith, the Mustangs have officially batted around here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Coy on first possesses some speed. Johnson out of the pen. Had one job, and he's brought around 3 runs. Griffith still trying to keep it open. Watches the first ball outside. Griffith puts a deep swing into right field. That'll get foul, but it was far back there. He evens it out at a ball and a strike.
Griffith's already had a nice rip in this inning. If you throw him anything on the inside, he's going to turn and smoke that thing down the left field line. And then watch Coy run.
Umpires looking down the line. Maybe something fell over near that party area, which it looks like it has. And it was the ball, so they're going to throw it back into the fans. Ball and a strike to Griffith. Huge inning so far. 7 runs. After the last couple of games, especially last night, the way it went, this is exactly what the Mustangs have needed to try and end out their week. Coy, a nice lead at first. 1-1 pitch to Griffith. Big pop fly into right field. Russo giving chase on the line. He is going to make the sliding catch for the 3rd out. And Russo keeps Coy on the base paths and makes a nice play along the foul line. But the Mustangs plate home 7 runs and now trail this ball game only 1 run. Headed into the 9th inning. Your Mustangs come all the way back from an 8-run deficit and just trail it 10-9. So we're headed to the 9th here on YouTube. Here in the 9th, when all hope was lost for the Mustangs, they come back and put 7 on the board. They trail it just 1 run. And the man to come in to do it out of the pen is Jace Johnson. 12th appearance pitched last night. 1 save so far this season. His 12 innings pitched, only a 1.50 ERA and a 21 strikeout and 4 walk ratio. The guy to do it, Truman, is Jace Johnson, and they trust him to put a big 0 on the board headed into the bottom of the 9th.
There was a guy that these lights would start flashing in a classic Hell's Bells or Enter Sandman or Narco would start playing. It'd be this guy. This is your dude out of the bullpen. And, I mean, now you've brought him on. This lead is won, and I have full guarantee that Jace Johnson will throw up a 0 right here.
First pitch swinging was Roberts. He's going to chop it over to Mosh. He's going to have to put the glove out, and he snares it from going into right field, and he makes the throw in time for a big leadoff hitter. First out from Johnson, and another defensive play made by Mosh.
I've seen Mosh this season play a lot of these infield positions, but I've been really impressed with him playing second base. And even tonight, another tough play. I mean, moving to his left, having to snag it, and then set his feet and fire. Not a tough play, especially running and then having to plant. You got to have strong legs to be able to just plant like that on a stop and get the out.
Big first out for the Mustangs. Inside on Dalton Miller, 3-hole hitter who singled last inning in the 8th, came around to score for his 3rd hit of the night. A big batter to get out here in this inning would be Miller. Johnson finds the outside part for strike one, evens it out of the ball and a strike. Mosh playing in the grass on second. The big gap between short. And he'll go to Coy at short. He's going to field it cleanly. The throw over to George in time. Back-to-back batters. 2 outs for Jace Johnson as he appears here in the 9th inning. And here we go. Can the Manic Mustangs throw up that big 0 and go into the 9th, just trailing 1. And it brings up Connor Rice. He also singled back in the 8th. Jace Johnson looking to go 1-2-3. Looking to throw the first 0 since the 6th. Bottom half finds the zone for strike 1 on Rice. Rice, another batter with 3 hits tonight. Just misses the outside zone for ball 1.
Now those 7 runs, Jackson, crowd really back into it.
Yes. And that's going to be shortly grounded over to Felix. Fields it in time. 1, 2, 3 goes Johnson in the 9th. And the Mustangs head into the bottom of the 9th, only trailing 1 run. Don't go anywhere, folks. Mustangs just trail it 10-9, and we're headed to the bottom of the 9th in a big one here on YouTube. Bottom of the 9th, your Mustangs only trail it 1 run. They trail it 10-9 in Truman. When we thought all hope was lost for this team, they decided not to quit, and here they are as a comeback mounted in the 8th, 7 runs, and they're trying to capitalize the walk-off victory.
Big time. Have yet to see a walk-off winner yet this season, and I mean, be such a fun and exciting game because I mean we were down, we were about to be like, this team, this went wrong, they didn't play like the Mustangs, and like that's baseball. 1 inning.
Boom.
Doesn't matter who it was against. 1 inning changes everything.
All it takes is 1. The Mustangs have proven that all season long. And they're going back to, and that's going to run inside on Gundelfinger, and that is going to clip him upstairs. And that is going to put the tying runner on first. Make sure Gundelfinger's okay first. But first pitch from Dante Johnson, he's okay. Tying runner on for the Mustangs on first with no outs.
Gundelfinger really taking one for the team. I mean, I don't think that one clipped him too bad, so I think he really missed something. But see if they go with a pinch runner. I think they are.
Looks like that is going to be Easton Philippi. Yeah, it's going to be Easton Philippi subbing in for Gundelfinger. There you go. Philippi's got that sleeper speed. See if he wants to maybe get over onto second. It's going to be a risky play. But if they can get a runner on scoring position with no outs, that could be huge, huge news for these Mustangs. And it's Truman Bodenhausen back to the top of the lineup. See what the Mustangs can manufacture. Bodenhausen's going to put down a short bunt. Dante Johnson, he's going to slip and fall, and it's going to be an infield single for Bodenhausen and the winning run on first base. Tying run on second base in scoring position, and here come the Mustangs.
I actually think I actually went out there and watered that exact spot between innings, just so viewers at home know I went out there because I knew Bodenhausen was lay down a bunt. I mean, Bodenhausen's speedy, and Johnson was caught looking at first base. He was caught trying to throw before he even got the ball, and he just went right on his butt. like to call those sniper. There's a sniper.
Sniper.
It happened to a bomber base runner earlier.
It was Vickers. He fell down.
Vickers,
Yeah.
There's a secret sniper somewhere. I have yet to find him here at Phil Welch.
Big at-bat for Freeman. He's going to lay down the bunt down the third base line. Making a tough throw is Miller over to first in time for the out, but that puts both the tying and winning run in scoring position in a very unselfish play by Freeman. Moves both runners back into scoring position.
I mean, that was a really good bunt, too, by Freeman. It was just a nice, better play by Miller, who was charging hard all the way. You know, sometimes on a bunt like that, when it's first and second, your third baseman's taught to hold and see if it's bunted hard at him, but he was committed to that.
It'll be Jack Mosh. Winning run on second base. A base hit here could win the game for the Mustangs as they are going to would come all the way back. Johnson, first pitch to Mosh. Upstairs for ball one. Mosh, as patient as ever. In a good spot here. Infield in for the Bombers. 1-0 delivery to Mosh. Down in the dirt, and he watches it. He goes up 2 balls and no strikes to Dante Johnson. As big as they come. 2 balls, no strikes to Mosh. Upstairs once again. Mosh ain't biting. 3 balls, no strikes. Looking to load the bases up with just an out for the Mustangs.
Will say, little surprised they aren't walking him. I mean, maybe that's what they're doing. They're just trying to do it the manual way because it would set up the game-ending double play.
3-1. Catches the outside part for strike one. That is a good point. Trying to put that double play in order. But Johnson's going right back to that zone. Mosh, 3 balls and a strike. He'll get anything in his wheelhouse. He'll swing on it. 3-1 pitch. Outside, and a 5-pitch walk issued to Mosh. Bases loaded. Inning double play is in order. And we're going to get a mound visit here to Johnson, and of course, 1 out. Bases loaded. It'll bring up Dom Felix.
Old reliable.
Old reliable, as Mr. Truman Greasel likes to say.
I think if there's a guy I would rather, I don't know, Felix, Freeman, it's basically 1A, 1B who I'd want up, and could be the 2 biggest at-bats when we look back in this inning. Freeman sacrifices his own at-bat to get runners in scoring position, and Felix right here, again, don't chase anything. Johnson, he's been up and down. Command, a little bit away, array. You got to look for something in your wheelhouse. If I'm Felix, I'm swinging for the fences.
100%.
You have an out. Again, it's really the only thing you want to avoid really is the game-ending double play.
Yep.
Because you'd like to get the tying run home in this at-bat at least.
At least.
But you still have 2 outs to work with.
Exactly.
So
Felix, 1 out. Big moment. First pitch swinging, and it fouls right back, and he wanted that one. 0-1 quickly to Felix. Put something out in the outfield. You tie the ball game up at 10. And I'd say being down 10-2, just an inning to go, I'd say, you know what? That is more than we could have asked for as Mustangs fans. 10-9. Your Mustangs an inning to go, trailed at 10-2. Felix got the bases loaded with just an out. The 0-1 delivery from Johnson. He's going to drop it, and that's going to be a short Miller to Miller. He's going to go over to first, but the tying run comes in to score on Philippi, and Felix gets the job done. 2 outs on the board, but your Mustangs go from trailing 8 to tying it in the bottom of the 9th. And now both runners advance, and you still got the winning run 90 feet away for Justin George.
Huge at-bat right there. Just did anything he could. That ball was not at all hit hard enough to turn the double play, and Miller just had 1 play. And now it's the guy who came through with that first hit last time, Jackson. My man, JG.
2 RBI double back in the 8th. Really got the jolt started. Can he be the hero tonight and walk it off for the Mustangs? First pitch swinging is going to be George. He's going to pop it out into the first base side. He's going to lose it in the lights, but he's going to make the catch is Huey. And the winning run left on third. But the Mustangs do tie it as they come back all the way from being down 10-2 and now tie it up at 10 as we're headed to extras here at Phil Welch. You'd have to call me crazy if just a couple innings ago I'd say this game would go to extras, Truman, but here we are, 10th inning, and we're tied at 10 here at Phil Welch.
Really is unbelievable. I mean, what a comeback here from the Stangs. They just do not quit. Now, we're in extras. All bets are off. We're playing for one.
One run.
You are playing for one run, any means necessary. You get hit, you crowd that plate, you find ways on, you get people over, and you get them in.
And it's going to be Sam Russo to start it off. Here for the Bombers, a big base runner would be crucial. Swing and a miss from Russo. Ties it up at 1 ball and a strike. Jace Johnson back out to work. And why wouldn't you? This guy knows how to put doors on these hitters in moments like this. It went 1-2-3 back in the 9th. 1-1 to Russo. He's going to line it over a hard chop over to Coy. He's going to field it. It's going to just get into center field on the bad hop. And that's going to put Russo on first with a leadoff single here in the top of the 10th.
Yeah, it's just one that ate Coy up. Unfortunately, I mean, it's hard. It's that in-between hop. Do you go after it? Do you wait back? He chose to wait back, and his body was angled a little bit. If he straight ups that ball, that probably hits him, and he's maybe able to recover and maybe throw out Russo. But that one, it just hit him, and it just hit his shoulder.
And that'll bring up Chris Miller as he showed bunt. First pitch outside for ball 1. Russo on first. He shows bunt. Here comes in Felix. Just outside, he goes ahead. 2 balls and no strikes on Johnson. We're tied. That's just crazy to think still. Tie ball game here in the 10th. Once again, bunt shown. Finds the upstairs corner. Miller didn't like it, but a big strike there. And a good payoff pitch from Johnson.
That's where you want to stick if you're Johnson. Up in the zone, more probability that Miller pops this bunt up right here.
Just misses the outside. He showed bunt once again. Now 3 balls and a strike. Might see Russo taken off here to second. We'll see if Miller's going to show bunt. Why wouldn't he? Here it is, 3-1. Finds the zone and a big strike there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now with 2 strikes, Miller is going to have to maybe not go with that bunt approach. Maybe going to have to put something in. And now Johnson, this is the perfect time to go after him.
Never know. A couple of questionable pitches to bunt in terms of they were right at the top and bottom of the zone.
3-2 pitch, just misses inside. And now back-to-back base runners for the Bombers. Still no outs. It'll be Russo on second. Miller works the walk. He'll head over to first. And that'll bring up Nathan Huey.
This is just unfortunate for Johnson. I mean, first pitch gets ground ball, tough hop for Coy. Now you walk him. Now you think Huey might lay down the bunt. I think he is. Yeah, he's already planning on it.
He was going to show bunt. Ooh, Johnson goes inside. Huey's going to be going and seeing if he got the hit by pitch. Umps are going to say, looking to see what's going on here. No, he did not, so it's going to be ball one. So it'll be strike one. It'll go off the bat of Huey. So strike one, big strike there from Johnson. Huey looking to show bunt. George and Felix are going to be crashing in. Mainly Felix. Bunt shown. Puts it down. Fields it cleanly as Johnson. He'll go to first for one. And both runners move up an extra 90 feet, so a quality out put on from Huey. That'll bring up Ryan Retone.
See if they just put Retone on to set up the force out at any base, or are they just going to willing to pitch to Retone and let him hit infield in? Looks like they're just going to pitch to him. It's always that question. Do you put him on? Do you put him not? I think it's if you're the home team, you don't. If you're the road team, you do. Because again, home team has last say.
First pitch misses outside to Retone. 1-0, infield in for the Mustangs. Both runners in scoring position. Lead runner at third. 1-0 delivery from Johnson. Big swing and a miss from Retone for the first strike.
And if you're Russo at third, a ball, I mean, you got to see a ball through, but you got to have a great break on a ball up the middle.
Johnson on 1-1. Big swing by Retone, but that's going to go foul. And now a two-strike count for Johnson to work with Retone. It's 1-2.
I'd like to see if he goes fastball outside here. He's gone inside, and he has a slider that goes even farther inside, but you don't want to necessarily risk hitting Retone with two strikes. See if you can get him to chase.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and he's got Retone down swinging. Retone upset as it is, and now 2 outs on the board for the Mustangs, trying to leave both runners in scoring position.
Like I just said, pitch outside, got him to chase. I mean,
yeah, it's right there. Beautiful.
Pat myself on the back for that.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a pat on the back. That was beautiful. 9-hole hitter, Lance Vickers, and Vickers has been clutch as it is. Back-to-back RBI at-bats back in the 7th and 8th, an RBI single in the 7th, and an RBI sacrifice fly. But now he's got 2 outs as Johnson's going to take a step off. Vickers, sleeper 9-hole hitter. Really good college season this last spring. It's a good guy to roll it over. But now with 2 outs, outside goes Johnson. First pitch ball once again.
I mean, this is the 9-hole hitter. This is the guy you got to get. He has done damage, but again, it's that top of the lineup that's rolling around. Just go right after him. Your infield's back.
Vickers is going to foul it off of his leg. Put a good swing on it. Just hit the top part of the bat, went straight down at his ankle. Now Vickers, a ball and a strike from Johnson. One and one to Vickers. Swing and he fouls it off. Another 2-strike count for Johnson. That's 1-2 to Lance Vickers.
Now it's a righty and Vickers. This is where you bring out the slider. Really haven't seen it yet tonight from Johnson, but I think this is where you bring it out. If you can get it started middle of the plate and that thing just whips around, get him to chase.
The 1-2 pitch outside and misses, evens it out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Once again, Russo on third, Miller on second for the Bombers. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3! Johnson pumped up and he leaves them on the bases. And we're still tied at 10. And the Mustangs just need 1 to win it as we go to the bottom of the 10th here at Phil Welch. And we got more extras coming up. Mustangs allow no runs, 1 run to win it. Coming up here on YouTube. Johnson holds them both on third and second. Strikeout looking, and this puts Jaden Little to lead it off, tied at 10. And he's the winning runner as it is right now, and he is going to still work with Dante Johnson still out on the mound. He's given up 4 runs here to these Mustangs, and Little be huge to get that leadoff runner on early on. First pitch to Little, just misses him for ball 1.
Again, extra innings, all bets are off. You find any way on possible. So Little right now, a little closer to the plate. He's looking to maybe try and get hit without leaning into a pitch.
Works an early 2-0 count on Johnson, and he's ahead early on. Oh for 3 so far tonight. He's worked 2 walks. Looking to do it for the 3rd time tonight. 2-0 pitch from Johnson. Upstairs finds his own, strike 1, so now 2-1 on Little. Two 1 pitch from Johnson. Swung on and fouled off, as that'll even out the count at 2-2. Two pitch to Little. He's going to have to put a swing on that. Is going to go foul on the third base side. Keeping the at-bat alive. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Little out of St. Joseph, Missouri. A returning Mustang. 2-2 pitch. He's going to swing on it, a shallow hit. He is going to reach on first with an infield single. And as big as they come, Little does it any way possible.
Like I said, you'll take any way to get on base right there. And a little 30-foot single from Little. I mean, that's a way to start off an inning. And maybe expect, it's Chris Coy. He can lay down the bunt. Maybe put the steal on, hit and run. Again, extra innings, all bets are off. It's all about chaos.
All about chaos here as Little, leadoff base runner, is on first. Mound visit here for Sedalia. Trying to calm Johnson down. Was told they only brought 2 pitchers, 2 pitchers tonight to St. Joe. So we're going to see here what the deal is with Johnson. No outs. And it brings up Chris Coy, St. Joe native, Benton High School graduate, looking to become a hero. Move Jaden Little over into scoring position. And they're going to pull Dante Johnson. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with the new pitcher for the Bombers here on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 10th inning, Jaden Little works the infield single. He's on first. A pitching change just right out of the infield. It'll be Connor Rice, who tonight has been the shortstop for the Bombers, will find himself out on the mound. And taking over at the shortstop position will be Will Munch over at shortstop. And tonight, Rice, he's had 3 hits tonight, looking to become the guy to shut down the Mustangs, but with no outs and Jaden Little on first, Coy looking to do some damage.
Right guy to do it. Again, how will they play it? Small ball, hit and run, straight steal.
As Coy goes for the bunt, just bunts it in the foul territory for the first strike. Love the approach. Just try and get Little over into second at least. That'll set you up with Parker Griffith and Easton Philippi at the 8 and 9 tough spot. Then move it back to the top of the order. Coy shows bunt once again. Just off the odd part of the bat, and that's going to go foul. Now 2 strikes on Coy. He's down 0-2.
That's just a tough pitch to bunt. I mean, high and inside. It's hard to pull back, I mean, because that ball's coming to your face, so honestly you're in defense mode. It's that fight or flight that kicks on in your brain. Now with 2 strikes, maybe a hit and run.
0-2, Coy's going to put a flare into shallow right field, giving Chase's Raton. He makes the catch into shallow right field for the first out. Little stays put at first, and a big first out from Connor Rice.
That's just unfortunate right there.
And it brings up the Bearcat and birthday boy, Parker Griffith, trying to continue the bottom of the 10th for the Mustangs. Little still on first. First pitch swinging, sharply lined over to Miller. He goes to second for 1, bobbled over to first. Not in time. So Griffith will reach on the fielder's choice. Little out at second with a nice throw made over by Miller. And now 2 outs, and Parker Griffith, and that brings up the 9-hole hitter, Easton Philippi.
Griffith hustled it out, but it was what a snare at third by Miller. I mean, just glove that thing, and Raton almost dropped it at first.
Inside part, catches the zone, strike 1 on Philippi. 2 outs on the board for the Mustangs. Can't figure it out here. We'll go to the 11th inning. Inside and 2 straight strikes on Philippi. On 0-2, Rice trying to retire the Mustangs. Now 2 outs, 2 strikes on Philippi. 0-2 pitch. Philippi's going to put a nice drive into center field. That is going to get down. Griffith on his horse. He fell on the ground. Griffith rounding third. Here comes Griffith. Mustangs walk it off. Easton Philippi, the hero, with 2 outs, puts it into center field. Roberts couldn't field it, and Griffith, from first to third, walks it off in the bottom of the 10th.
Oh, man, I mean, baseball. Easton Philippi comes in to pinch run in the 9th, and he ends up swatting the walk-off hit.
Wow.
The dude from Sedalia High School.
My alma mater, Falcon Nation, rise up, baby.
And the Mustangs were dead in the dirt. They were down 10-2, and they walk away 11-10 winners. Unreal game tonight. Unreal.
Unreal. In the 8th inning, down 8 runs, put 7 runs on. You put 1 in the 9th to tie it up. And Easton Philippi, the new kid, runner-up in the state championship, finds his moment here in St. Joe and walks it off with an RBI hit as Griffith went from first to home. I'm out of breath, ladies and gentlemen. What a ball game.
What a ball game. I mean, I'm speechless, Jackson.
I'm speechless as well.
Speechless. I thought it was going to be a post game where it was going to be like, you know, fans at home, it's okay they lost. It's okay. You know, maybe how they lost, but it's okay. You're going to lose games. But now tonight it's like, oh, man.
Wow.
This Mustangs team, anything is possible. No lead is safe. That put the Mink on alert. Get an Amber Alert out for the Mink League. No
Amber
lead
Alert
is safe
out
against the St. Joseph Mustangs.
The Mustangs continue to dominate all assets of the game, getting into the heads. You mentioned when Sedalia went to the bullpen. It's been the problem for them all season long. It comes back to bite them. In 11-10 is your final score. Mustangs first walk-off here at Phil Welch. And what a game, Truman, it was to end off the homestand here at Phil Welch. And just how last night went. The tough loss to Carroll. The game getting called in the ninth with the A's, second place. It's just been down and down the last couple of nights at Phil Welch. To end it out on a Saturday night, as beautiful as it is outside, too, the Mustangs decide to lift all hopes going into tomorrow, and then you get a rest day on Monday. The Mustangs are back to looking really good.
They are, and man, I don't know what to say. Heck of a game. These boys played their hearts out, and it was just wild, wild.
Wild as it is. Probably the craziest game in all 3 years of my broadcasting career. Probably the craziest game that I have ever gotten to call was right here at Phil Welch. What a game. And for everyone who watched at home, thank you for sticking around with us as well at home. I know it was looking down for you guys. This win is for you guys as well who stuck around. Mustangs Nation, we're riding high. Put the saddle on. We're going into Saturday night with the win.
And Jace Johnson, I mean, you got to give credit to him. He pitched last night, and he comes out, and he shoves for 2 innings, keeps this game right where it is. He'll get the win. And then this offense, they just kept chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. And what do you know? They come away walk-off winners.
We are headed close to July. Tomorrow on the 29th, they're going to travel to Nevada to face the Griffins. Off day on Monday and Tuesday against Chillicothe. Then another off day on Wednesday and back at home against Chillicothe. Sedalia once again. And then the Clarinda A's on Saturday. Might want to see maybe on that Wednesday or Saturday, might finish that 1 inning that is still unplayed between those two teams that are first and second. For anyone wondering at home, the Clarinda A's did pull off the win against the Nemo Crays 8-7 as they scored 2 runs in the 9th. But it's fireworks here at Phil Welch. For me, Jackson Phelps, my partner Truman Griesel, what a win for the Mustangs and our Mustangs. Tomorrow back on the road. We'll be back next Thursday for a big game against Chillicothe. But have a good weekend.